So I'm just waiting for another few minutes just before I begin my talk. Hello, Freddie. So, greetings, everybody. I'm Mary, and today I'm talking about healing our belief systems. This talk is part of the Galway Mind Body Experience event that's on this weekend, and it's an online event. So, healing our belief systems. Our beliefs are the stories that we tell ourselves each day to explain our world and to explain our own reality. And these beliefs, they really control everything. They control our understanding, they control our responses, they control our reactions, they control so much of what we do in life. And they can kick in very, very quickly because they're here, they're living in here. And sometimes our belief is what jumps in to explain something that's happened. If something's gone wrong or you're not sure, it just jumps in. And because we have a belief, we don't look any further for anything else. So I thought I'd start by telling you a story just to illustrate this a bit. And this is a true story. It happened many years ago now, but at the time, to me, it really was very, very frightening. So when I was younger, I traveled a lot and I worked in different countries. I worked in Brunei Darussalam, which is in Borneo. It was lovely. It was a beautiful place to be. And we were given accommodation, which was a lovely house down the end of a laneway, or a simpang as it was called. And it was really nice because just about 100 yards behind the actual house, you had the jungle. And it was incredible. There were monkeys, macaques, there were flying foxes come in every night. We had a monitor lizard that came into the back of the house. There was a little pool of water. He lived there. There were grass snakes. There was all sorts of insects. And it really was lovely. It was very safe. But still, it was common enough that people had bars on the windows or the doors, just sort of something that they did. So our house happened to have bars on the windows, metal bars. And there was also a sliding door, like a metal door that could be locked at night. So it meant that you could leave your windows open, but it was very, very safe. And you didn't pass any remarks. So this particular night anyway, my housemate wasn't there. I was on my own, just locked up, went to bed, fell asleep. And at some point in the night I woke up. I'm not sure what exactly disturbed me, but I was disturbed, woke up. And when I did, I sort of moved and turned, and you sort of move. My hand came down on somebody else's arm. Basically, there was somebody there in the room, and you can imagine the sense of panic that comes up. It's a very primeval terror that comes up very, very quickly. But I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? Somebody's got in. And it really was a horrible situation. And all you can do is you just have to react. You wake up so fast and in a panic, you have to just adjust yourself. So your instinct is to fight back, push back. So I did. I managed to get a bit of resistance and fight back or push back against this. I put my hand on their arm, basically, and I was just pushing and pushing back to try and say, what do I do next? How am I going to get out of this situation? Now, this could have gone on for I don't know how long. It could have been a few minutes, it could have been a few seconds. It's hard for me to tell at this point. But all I know was I was terrified at the time. All my adrenaline was running. I was really fighting for my life as far as I was concerned because I did not know what was going to come next, what was going to happen to me. And you just have to respond in the moment, which is what I did. So I'm going to cut my story short very quickly. Um, in reality, my first belief was not what was really happening. And this is where I come to the ridiculous side of it. Was there actually somebody in the house? No. Had somebody got in and decided to get into the bed beside me and leave their arm so I could attack it? No. That's not what was happening. What happened was I fell asleep on my side, on my left arm, which went completely numb and dead. And when it did, obviously I couldn't feel anything on that side. So I woke up. This hand came forward. This hand could feel and sense everything. But this hand came down on this arm, which couldn't, half of my body couldn't feel anything. And to me, my response was, there's somebody else there, because this hand couldn't feel anything. And what I had done was I had grabbed hold of my own arm. And I was in a panic because my first thought was it's somebody else. And I was actually fighting my own arm, my own hand, like this. Now I laugh now when I think about it because I remember waking up like this, having a huge battle with this arm. But the point is, I fully, totally believed that there was somebody else there. Absolutely believed it. That was what jumped in, and therefore I was at risk and I was at danger, and that's the way I saw it. So our beliefs can be powerful, they can be very, very strong, and they can be completely wrong, but we don't know unless we look a bit further. And this is really trying to illustrate it. Now, I know that's a ridiculous example, but most of our beliefs are well and truly embedded in here, and they're much nicer. They're actually very, very polite. They're very, very comfortable living in there. And there's no reason why they would want to upset you, because after all, your beliefs are helping you to understand your world. And this is where we're all living in our own little world, maybe a strange world of our belief systems, and everything matches up most of the time. It's all very logical, it fits in. So our beliefs are here embedded in our consciousness, and they exist. They actually have a life of their own because they've been there maybe quite a long, long time. And they can be aware of themselves. And this is how people, you see all the discussions that we have, and sometimes big arguments and debates, because, well, this is what I believe. No, this is where I stand. And we're all so definite and so sure. And our beliefs give us perspective on life. They give us our values quite a lot of the time, because our values could come from ourselves or from our parents, something we've been told about. And sometimes they can create a long-term fear or worry. So all of those times that we may be taught to ourselves, I'm not good enough, I can't do that, I can never achieve something, I don't think that's for me, I couldn't try that, no, I'd never be able to go for that promotion, I couldn't do that job, within reason. There's so many little limits and blocks. And this is where working with healing with spiritual light is so completely different, because spiritual light is coming from a different place. It's coming from a fifth dimension. It is a higher consciousness, and the higher consciousness is able to reach the lower consciousness beliefs that are here. They're deep, they're embedded, and they're controlling us. Bring in light, show what's going on. It's totally different to just clearing away the energy of something from the surface. First of all, you see what's happening. It shows us what's happening, the belief that's there, and bring in the truth of the situation. And we see it from a different perspective, a more expanded perspective. And then what happens is it helps to dissolve that belief, because it's a whole process. If it's been there a long time, it takes a bit of time for it to go, to release it. We've seen things one way for so long that we need to release it and then allow ourselves to change, that we can actually bring in new beliefs, new possibilities and opportunities. And this is what spiritual healing is about. It's about empowering people, helping you to see what's in your life. It's magical in one way, but magic is the wrong word. It's an extraordinary ability, really, that the light has to work in this way. And it can release so much. And if you stop being afraid of something in your life, you can also stop being afraid of maybe a health issue that's going on. You realize that there's other things affecting it. You can be afraid of changing your life, and you realize, well, there's no need. There's beliefs that I'm holding that are just making me afraid and stop me from moving on. So it's an extremely powerful way of working with your own life purpose of helping you to move yourself forward. So instead of thinking there's no way, I can't possibly change it, it's not going to happen, it can, because it brings in that totally different level of ability. And it is something that stops you from just tripping over your beliefs all the time or having a mad battle with yourself. Because I was having this battle with my hand. I was fighting myself. It was me. My belief was I'm attacking what I think is somebody else, but actually it's your own belief about that. And this was my big battle at the time. So if you have fears come up in your head and you think you can't do something, maybe you'll think of me in my silly battle with my hand and say, well, am I fighting myself? Or is this actually what's going on in my life? So it's a different way, a very different way to help yourself to move on. And when we say it's healing, it's showing you the light, the truth of something in your own life. It's allowing you to see what's best for you and open up your opportunity to empower you, to move you on to something that you're happier with. So that's my story today. I have had many interesting and strange experiences in my travels. I'm not ready to tell some of them just yet, but maybe I will. So please watch this space, and thank you very, very much for being with me here today. And I will be doing other talks again for the Mind Body Experience events as they come up. Thank you. So I just want to say hello to Mary Teresa, who's checked in with me. Thank you. And I know that other people will check in at different times. Thank you very much.